This week on Rescue Vet,
So she's been on foster wean now for a few hours.
we follow the story of one foster dog learning to trust again.
I assume they were just left in a barn, a yard, a corner of a room or somewhere for too long, 3 months old, a long time to be left in a difficult situation.
Born in a puppy farm, Phoenix was reactive, shut down and running out of options.
It's rare that 3-month-old puppies have that in them to just attack dogs when they see them. That's not normal.
Now with behaviourist Adam Hobbs by her side, she's making her first steps towards a second chance.
So her rehabilitation and her journey starts today.
This is her story. I first met Adam 18 months ago at North Clwyd Animal Rescue. With over 20 years' experience as an animal behaviourist and a deep passion for rescue, Adam doesn't just work with dogs, he opens his home to them. When a dog comes into rescue needing specialist behavioural support, Adam takes them in, bringing them home on foster to live with him and his 2 dogs, Nala and Daisy. And today, Adam is picking up Phoenix, a 3-month-old puppy who's had a difficult start. Bought by a family from a breeder, within 15 hours of being home, Phoenix had attacked their puppy. Struggling to cope with the reactive young pup, they made the decision to sign her over to the rescue.
Shh, it's okay. I went to the house to pick her up and she wouldn't leave the house. She was too scared to come outside, so I had to carry her to the van. And once she was in the van, she clearly wasn't used to being in vehicles. The only journey she probably had was from the breeders to their house. So she just hid at the back of the van. Didn't explore, didn't sniff, just hid. And when I brought her home, normally with foster dogs, I just let them go and meet Daisy and Nala because they're very welcoming, good socialised dogs. But she wasn't ready for that. So she started growling, snarling through the windows at them. She said, "Okay, girl, I know. Calm down. Still stressy."
From the moment Phoenix arrived at Adam's, it's clear she was overwhelmed. Over the next few hours, Adam carefully introduces her to his dogs. First through a window, then one at a time.
I was quite surprised at how reactive she was for a 3-month-old puppy. At that age, they shouldn't have fear-based behaviours. And the second she saw a dog, she was rapidly barking high-pitched and being quite confrontational. She wasn't backing away, she was moving forwards, which isn't normal for a puppy. They'd normally bark and back away if they were scared. But to go and confront shows either a high level of confidence or a high level of stress. And in her case, it was stress. So I can understand how she immediately attacked the puppy in the home, because if that's her reaction on sight, being immediately introduced to a new puppy in a new home with a new family in a new area, that would have been way too much for her. So it was unnerving to see in that younger pup that level of stress.
Adam specialises in rehabilitating last chance and reactive dogs. With patience and expert guidance, Phoenix slowly begins to feel more comfortable around his own dogs.
So she's been on foster wean now for a few hours and we've done okay. So her rehabilitation and her journey starts today. We'll see if we can get her ready for a new home. Normally I take dogs for a walk together. It's a good way to get them to bond, especially youngsters. But she wouldn't leave the house. I put her on a lead, which she was unsure about. Opened the door, didn't move. I went outside with my 2 and she just stood in the doorway. Had no interest in coming out at all. You could tell there was interest there, but just too scared to try. You could tell she was terrified though, because she wouldn't climb on anything, wouldn't go on the bed. She sat in corners, sat against me, always stayed on the floor, always stayed low, didn't move much, stayed pretty still. So you could tell, no idea how the world works, zero socialization.
For a puppy her age, this level of fear is unusual, a clear sign of a difficult start in life.
Understanding a dog's background can help a lot when trying to work out what the issues are and then how to progress through them. Although we don't know much about Phoenix's background because the breeder wasn't a great breeder. The family who bought Phoenix bought her because the photos looked bad. it didn't look like a good place. So they felt sorry for it. They actually felt that they were rescuing the dog. And they got delivered from a few hours away, which is not generally a good sign. They didn't get to meet the parents, see the litter, see where the dog was raised. It does sound like a classic backyard breeder puppy farm situation. And given Phoenix's behaviour, it's quite clear it wasn't a nurturing, decent breeder who puts time into socialization, time into education, time into training. I assume they were just left in a barn, a yard, a corner of a room or somewhere for too long, 3 months old, a long time to be left in a difficult situation. So although we don't know exactly what happened, we can be fairly confident it wasn't a great start, and it was just a backyard breeder.
The first few months of a puppy's life are crucial, and without the care she needed, Phoenix was already starting life on the back foot.
Day one for her was quite interesting. It was quite clear though she's in bad condition. Physically, not as big as we should be, muscles haven't developed as they should, and she had really bad diarrhoea. It was just water squirting out. So pretty stressed, not in good condition at all. It's a tough day for her.
Now safe and settled in Adam's home, the real work could begin. It's day 2 of Phoenix's foster placement, and after a settled first night, Adam can begin the real work.
So while she's on foster with me, I'm going to try and catch her up on everything she should have done already, which is a lot. She's had a dreadful start to life, really. So she is far, far behind. So I'm going to work on that, try and progress her forwards, try and get to where she should be, and then hopefully beyond that. And ideally, she'll be quite quickly at a stage where we can find her a new home, a forever home. But in the meantime, she's on boot camp with me.
Phoenix, come on.
And that starts with a walk. If Phoenix will leave the house this time.
Let's go. I needed to build her up slowly, so we just started with the general stuff, walking around the streets, walking up and down my road, getting used to that, cars, traffic, people, kids on bikes, people talking to me in the street, bin bags, the wheelie bins, just all the day-to-day stuff which most dogs get used to really quickly. I had to make sure she was comfortable around all that, and she wasn't initially. It's rare that 3-month-old puppies have that in them to just attack dogs when they see them. That's not normal, and that's a little bit disconcerting, and it does make you wonder how bad a start this dog had and how big a job it's going to be to overcome that start, overcome that traumatic beginning, and then progress it to where it needs to be before we hit adolescence, which was only a few weeks away. So there's a lot of work to be done here, and a lot more than I'd expect from a 3-month-old puppy. So the approach I take with dogs like Phoenix, it's not going to be much actual command-based training. It's much more initially getting her to trust me and getting her used to the environment. It's the socialization which should have already occurred. If I could teach her sit down, stay, look at me, that's okay. But if she's terrified of every single thing she sees, those commands are going to be pretty weak and she's not going to respond to them as well as she needs to. The big part of it is just earning her trust, which means staying calm, staying relaxed. If she's not sure, I don't pander to it. I don't sort of sympathise too much with how she's feeling. I need her to look to me and think, well, you know what you're doing. You seem calm, you seem relaxed. I'm going to follow you. I will still make her feel secure. I will keep her on the safe side of me. I'll put myself between her and any issue. So if she's concerned about something and I'm in the firing line, she can then assume I'll deal with it and watch how I deal with it. And if I stay calm and confident the whole time, keep her relaxed and easy, then she can start trusting me in different situations. And ideally, what I'm aiming for is her to look to me when she's not sure. If she sees something difficult in the street that she doesn't know what to do with and looks to me and thinks I'm handling it well, she'll then be drawn to me and follow me, and then I can show her, look, this isn't a concern. The main reason I choose this approach is because I do see training and behaviour as very separate disciplines. Training is getting a dog to do something, and behaviour is getting a dog to stop doing something. To understand the cause of behaviour, address that, and then the dog chooses not to do that problematic behaviour. Training is more asking a dog to do something instead, which is fine and they're both good approaches, but I find for the serious stuff, I want the dog to have the fundamental confidence to make a decision by itself without being led by me. Adapt to the situation as opposed to react to the situation. Then that makes my life much easier and it makes the dog's life much more easier. And once we're at the stage where Phoenix is looking to me and she is staying calm and relaxed in different situations, then the commands like, look at me, sit, wait, they can start really having an impact.
Phoenix is still barking at cars and other dogs, still uncertain, but quicker to settle. For her first walk with Adam, Nala and Daisy, it's a small but hopeful step forward.
So on day 3, just had a nice quiet morning walk. And she's walking really well, to be fair. She's sticking right next to me. And anything we sort of come across, she's handling it okay, she's watching it, curious about it. We're not overreacting to anything, which is a really promising sign. So there's another car coming now. And that's about the 6th of the car this morning, and now she's really not bothered. And now hit a speed bump, which is unusual. But she coped fine.
Whilst most would stay inside on a rainy day, Adam sees it as a perfect chance to expose Phoenix to new sights, sounds and smells, helping to build her confidence.
So cars sound different in the wet, for instance. Things smell different. So it was good for her to experience that, and she did really well. I spent a lot of time just hanging around, letting her sniff and explore with her nose, which is important. And she loved all that. There's stuff going on around her at the same time, which is good, because she gets used to that as well, desensitised to it. We did other things, like we went to some alleyways, because alleyways are different, they're quite narrow. You know, dogs can struggle with alleyways just because you've lost your flight option effectively. But she did really well, lots of sniffing, lots of exploring, that was cool. Anything she's not sure about, we just stopped and watched. Like the chippy, for instance. She wasn't sure about the sights and the smells there, so we watched that for a minute or two and she's quite happy with that, then we moved on.
With Phoenix making great progress and night falling, Adam takes advantage of one more new experience to help her grow.
It's day 3. It's a very cold, wet evening, so taking the opportunity to bring out little Phoenix to expose her to all this, because this is very different to a walk in the daytime. At night, everything looks different, smells different. When it's in the wet, everything sounds different, smells different. So this is an important experience for her. And because it's been quite nice weather up until this point, she hasn't even seen the cold and the wet really. But even so, you can't really see her, but she's doing pretty well. We're going a little bit slower to make it easy for her. But she's taking her time and she's checking everything out. She's sitting for treats now, which is handy, so I can expose her to all different things. So here's a car now, for instance. And we'll stay by the speed bumps. And we'll see how she copes. Excellent, not bothered at all. She's doing really well. This is a problem that a lot of people face if they get the dogs at springtime or summertime, you know, the puppies. Because they'll take them out socialising. Because the weather's so good and it's so light for so long, the puppies don't actually see nighttime. They're always asleep by the time it happens. So when winter rolls around, they can be a little bit freaked out by the dark if they haven't yet been exposed to it. So coming out late with your dog, getting it used to the nighttime, is an important thing. And little Phoenix is doing great with it, to be fair. Day 4 with Phoenix, and it's biblical out there. It's absolutely bucketing down, so we're not even going to bother walking. So I thought I'd take a chance, and I'm bringing her to Pups and Pets pet store, and they got a cafe inside as well. So it's an interesting place for puppies to go. Lots of smells, lots of things going on. Quite often a lot of dogs, a lot of people. So it's a bit of a test this early on, but given the weather, I thought we'd give it a go. Hopefully she gets a lot out of it and it doesn't turn into a big meltdown session. But we'll see how we go.
Now that Phoenix trusts Adam and looks to him for guidance, it's crucial to expose her to real-world experiences. Today will be a big test. Noticing other dogs barking in the shop, Phoenix starts reacting.
You're barking at, buddy. There was a few dogs barking in the cafe and she barked back, retaliated, and the fear kicked in. So I moved her away, went to the other end of the shop where there's lots of stuff to sniff, there's food and there's beds and there's toys. And so she started exploring all that. And we could still hear the noise in the background, but she wasn't reacting to them. Phoenix, here. Good girl, come on. Sit. Sit. Good girl. Let's go. Then as we progressed closer and closer to the cafe again, I could work with her and get her focus, make her feel relaxed, just let her observe it all and absorb all this crazy sounds and echoes and noises and movements. Phoenix. Phoenix, what's this? Good girl. Stop finishing. And she took it all on board. She was still struggling a little bit, but she was progressing.
Calming her down and rewarding positive behaviours, Adam takes her to the empty cafe.
And she was able to just sit in the cafe with me. I had a coffee, she just had a little chew to chew on, and she took it all in again. And the reactivity reduced again. So this is all brilliant progress for her. And I had to keep pushing her because I couldn't have her stagnating because there's a risk she start regressing.
It's Phoenix's first time in a cafe. She's done remarkably well, especially for just day 4. The strong bond she's built with Adam is clearly helping her confidence.
It's in these situations where I really feel for owners. You might get a dog from a poor breeder and you won't know. You don't know what the genetics of the dog. If it's been encouraged already, so you could take on a dog at 10 weeks old and already have problems. And in the case of Phoenix, at 3 months old, they had massive problems. The one advantage Phoenix had was she was given to the rescue centre early on. I much prefer if somebody's struggling a lot with a difficult dog to seek help immediately and not see how it goes. If Phoenix had been left and they'd just done the typical classic puppy training, the sit down, stay stuff, it probably would have been about 10% of what was actually needed. Then when she hits adolescence at around 6 months old, that's when the real coping strategies would have emerged. And given the way she's already behaving, that would have been very confrontational, very barky, lunging, pulling, kicking off at everything, reacting through the window, reacting in the car, reacting to visitors. And being a German Shepherd, guarding type breed, there's every chance she's going to start using her mouth, using her teeth. And if that works for her, you've now got a very difficult biting dog. And although the training might have gone well and she learnt sit, stay down, the fundamental decision-making process for her would have been defend yourself in threatening situations and then defend the family who are with you. So behaviour was the key to this as opposed to training. So always advise people who are working with puppies and educating puppies, if it's not sure and it goes still and it watches, maybe holds its breath, focuses, barks, do something then. Step in, guide it, put yourself between the dog and the problem, make it turn around and face you and put it behind you, but don't allow it to keep doing this process and just encouraging the wrong behaviours. And try and encourage a behaviour you do want and make it feel safe next time in that situation. Expose it at a distance, work on that till eventually the dog can see that stimulus from a safe distance and understand it doesn't have to react to resolve the situation. Then you can start narrowing the gaps, pushing it, increasing the stress and allowing them to just build resilience and just understand that it's not actually stress after all, it's just an everyday activity.
Over the coming days, Phoenix makes steady progress, going on more walks, seeing new places, even visiting a petting farm.
Up the mountain today. New sensations for little Phoenix to be dealing with. So we're ready. Checking out the boardwalk. This confused her to start with. We've also got marshy ground.
Each day, she grows a little stronger, a little braver.
With Phoenix, pretty much everything we came across was her first time doing it. She had such a sheltered and difficult life to start with that even just walking down the street, there were several new things for her. So to progress from not understanding the world at all, to be comfortable around a village, and then a town, then a city, busy pet shops, and then a rescue centre full of crazy farm animals, You know, that was unbelievable progress.
Sit. That's better. Good girl. Just watching.
I didn't see massive changes in Phoenix in any short period. It was just small things. So the reactivity was there, but it began decreasing.
Fee. Sit. Calm down. I know.
The sort of progress I like to see in dogs is the intensity, the frequency and the duration of the problems reducing. And we did start seeing signs of that fairly early on. She still barked at every single dog she saw, but the lunging sort of behaviour dissipated a bit. She didn't bark as loud, didn't bark as long, and that's all signs of progress. There's no big major breakthroughs really, but there's plenty of little incidences that showed we were progressing, which was great to see because I knew we could finally get somewhere. We could start really making some good inroads into this. And it's always a little heartwarming to see her come across a challenge which 5-6 days before would have blown her mind, and then she can just about cope with the situation. And the cool thing is, in between the terrifying aspects of life, her calmness was really increasing, and she's becoming more cuddly and more friendly and just a really sweet dog. And you get to see the insights into what she could be if we continue this program, if the potential gets realised. There's an amazing dog in there. It's just being disguised at the moment by these massive terrified reactions we were seeing. And as she gets better and increases her confidence and the reactivity decreases, we can really start getting a good understanding of what sort of home would suit her best. So this is the first tentative steps towards that next move into that forever home.
Progress isn't always steady. Dog training is slow, with setbacks along the way, and it takes patience and persistence.
Phoenix. Fee. Good girl. Sit. Fee.
So we're a week in, I've made a bit of a mistake. She's been walking really well this week, but a lot of it's been with Daisy and Nala. And now I brought her out on her own. She's much more alert, struggling much more and much more wary in general. Good girl. So I think she's getting a lot of confidence from my two. She's settling into the walk, but clearly I would need to do more work with her. Need more work with her on her own to build up her confidence so she's not relying on others. So yeah, lesson learned.
Over the next few days, that's exactly what Adam does. He and Phoenix take to the streets, trying new routes and new leads to build up her confidence.
So we're out for the solo walk, but today I've got her on the running lead. So it's just a bungee attached to my waist, so she can walk where she wants, and hopefully she's choosing to walk right next to me. And to be fair, she's doing pretty well with it. But what I'm looking for is any time she stops and she looks and she's not sure about something, we'll take our time. I want her to watch it. I'll put myself between her and the problem, obviously. And if she looks at me for a treat, she'll definitely get one. But now we're just slowly taking off all the things she's not sure about. And on a beautiful day like this, why wouldn't you? So again, I'm quite impressed with her so far. She's still nervous, still anxious, but progressing really, really well. Oh, good girl. So we'll see what we come across.
Seeing other dogs still proves a challenge.
Miss it. Good girl. Let's go. What's this? Phoenix, sit. You can do it. Sit. That's better. Good girl. Just watching. Okay. Let's go. Now, something I have noticed about her. She walks really well. She walks behind me until she thinks we're going home. And then we start seeing much more of this. And she's pulling her head like this. She's trying to get home because home's safe. Nervous dogs like to be at home. So it's not uncommon for anxious dogs to pull towards the house. So the less she does this, the more confidence she's got. So it's something I'll be watching out for.
It's day 11, and today Phoenix is off to school. Well, kind of.
Nice bright one this morning. Crisp and cold. We've got Nala with us today.
But this morning we timed it so we're going out when all the school kids are going to, all the primary school kids anyway, are going to school. So we saw lots of new things for Phoenix. Lots of kids on scooters, kids running, kids shouting. One kid on his parents' shoulders, which is interesting for her. Then we went and stood at the primary school and stood just outside and watched all the parents coming and going with the buggies and the prams and tons of scooters. Just sat there, took a few treats. Obviously we did no videoing around there. But yeah, she coped quite well. Watching a lot of stuff. She didn't recognise any of it. But fair play to her, she sort of sat there, took the treats. Every time she got a bit unsure, moved her away, more treats. And she did really well with it. Ticked lots of boxes this morning.
The progress Adam and Phoenix have made together is incredible. Over the next few months, Adam stays by her side, guiding her every step of the way through her behavioural training.
Watching? How you doing? Okay? Good stuff. Good stuff, Fee.
And soon it's time to think about adoption.
So after a few months of working with Phoenix, I was confident that she was pretty close to being ready for a forever home. She'd progressed well, her confidence had built, her education was stronger now, she was comfortable in many different situations, and she had the confidence in me that if she was unsure, I could get her attention, I could ask her to sit behind me, I could make her do something else instead of what she's about to do. Which means in a forever home, they've now got tools to use to help her if they get in a difficult situation. And we put a profile on the website and wait to see what sort of applications we got in for her. Because although she was ready for rehoming, that doesn't mean anybody could take her. She needed to go to a sort of specific environment where the encouragement's still going to be there, the support's going to be there, and she can have the sort of experience that's going to help her grow. So we had to process the applications carefully. So we contacted the applicants, spoke to them, and tried to work out who can offer her the best home. So although there were 3 or 4 good homes on offer, we need to make sure we got the best one for Phoenix. And one stood out. They lived in a beautiful area in Wales. And they had 2 other dogs. And I did want Phoenix to go with the dog because she did get a lot from my dogs. And they were calm people and understood what was needed.
A few positive meetings, it was clear Phoenix had found her forever home. All that was left for Adam to do was to drop her off to her forever family and say goodbye.
It's often the case with a foster dog, where it goes through my mind, is this one I should keep? And I always get a lot of comments, she's really settled with you, she'll stay with you, she's bonded with you, and sometimes it's quite tempting to give in and say, actually, I want to keep this dog. But ultimately, fostering isn't really about that. Fostering is preparing the dog for its next step. So yes, Phoenix was amazing and she's going to make a great dog. But I knew that if I kept her, that would really limit my options going forward. So I had to move her on because I do a lot of fostering for rescues. And if I've got an extra dog in the house, especially a dog that still needs work itself, that really limits what I can take in. The home that's lined up for Phoenix was better than I can provide for her. And her life is going to be way better there than it is going to be with me. So that's not a difficult side of it. Saying goodbye is tricky, of course, but I just focus on, right, at some point, there's going to be another dog that needs the same help Phoenix did. If I can just get these dogs to the next level where they're then adoptable and they're going to be successful adoptions, that's just as rewarding as adopting a dog in the first place. So it's difficult, but with the right mindset, it's much more manageable.
Without Adam's unwavering dedication, this young puppy's future would have been bleak. Scared, reactive, misunderstood, and without a home. But through his patience and expert care, Phoenix has been given a second chance at life to become this happy, confident dog she was always meant to be. Her painful past is now behind her, replaced by a loving home and dog siblings who welcome her with open paws.
So I've just left Phoenix with her new family. It was a good little mix with their couple of dogs. They've got a nice big open area, they're in the middle of nowhere, in the Welsh countryside. So she's going to have an amazing life with that family. They also had a collie. We're throwing balls for them and they were loving that. So Phoenix got a new best mate straight away. And the people were lovely. So it was nice leaving Phoenix there because I know she's going to have an amazing time there. The walks on there are fantastic. So I'm really chuffed to leave her there. Again, it was tricky because I spent a lot of time with her, put a lot of work into her. And it was rewarding, it was good, it was fun, it was also frustrating sometimes, but it's always difficult when you spend that much time with a dog, get it to a certain level to then say goodbye. But I know it's going to be way better where she is than where she was with me, and she can progress much faster and just have a higher quality of life there. So I'm really chuffed, and all the work I put in paid off. So her confidence is sky high, which means whatever challenges she comes across in the future, she should just take in her stride. So another foster down, another top result. So on to the next one.
If you want to learn more about Adam's work or need help with your own dog, visit his website, Better Dogs. He offers courses for reactive dogs, and for 20% off, check out the links in the description below. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more remarkable rescue stories here on Rescue Vet. Bye for now.